Oh yeah, guys. I want to talk about something very sensitive here. I have my notes. Yeah, something really sensitive, right? And it's something we cannot continue ignoring because it's it's something it's starting to happen closely now. Like it's something that happens and it affects you directly now. So we cannot. There are things that we can no longer afford to not have conversations about. There are things that now as a community, as a people, we have to talk about constantly. And one of them is rape. It's sex, it's relationships. And above all, hanging over all this is consent. What is consent, kahle kahle, right? So I wrote a few stuff here. Like I wrote the order that I'm supposed to flow. So this is my first time actually trying to follow what I write, right? So I don't know how this is gonna go, but yeah. At the top of my list I have relationships, right? Uh, when I was writing this down, I was taken back to primary school. I was born in 1994. I did my grade R in 2000, right? So from that time, 2000 till 2007, grade R till grade 7. You know, at some point, maybe grade 1, grade 2, when I was interested in a girl, I would of course write a letter and make sure that it gets to her one way or another. Maybe grade R, and then as we advance, and nobody teaches you this in school. It's something that just happens. It's built in us, right? That we're gonna pursue the ones we like, some one way or another. But it seems like at that age, there was an inborn understanding of consent. There was an inborn understanding of consent, of knowing that she has to say yes before we go out. She has to say yes. Her voice is important. As kids, we recognized that. And of course, there are seniors that now who have learned from what they've been exposed to. Now they've learned now. They're beginning to. There's a gap between the grade 7s, the grade 6, the grade 5s, and the grade R's up to grade 4, right? There's a gap right there. There's a gap, especially grade 7, grade 6. You realize that now people are open to peer pressure. You realize that now stigmas, we begin to attach ourselves to certain stigmas. We drop or we outgrow our childhood in a way. We feel like now, like, we feel like we get into a new stage of our growth, right? And now this is very painful because our schools don't teach us these things in detail. They don't teach you that when you get here, this is what to expect, and they don't give you the emotional information on how to deal with yourself when you get there. So everything that you're doing is on autopilot. Everything that you're doing at this stage, it's self-taught. You get it from the street. You get it from the seniors, the guys who organize fights. It was fun, but coming to think of it, there's a lot of things that were happening, and one cannot shake off the feeling that fatherlessness is at the center of all this. Okay, not the center, but close to the center. It covers a lot of radius, right? Fatherlessness is a pandemic on its own, right? And I'm speaking this from my own life, like thinking about how, like, because my dad maybe was, my last memory of him before he reappeared was around maybe 2000. So maybe from 99, maybe from 2000 till 2010, he's not there, right? And now, as an adult, and I begin thinking back about those things, I begin to see a lot of spaces that were created as a result of his absence, right? So fatherlessness is at the center of all this. But now back to school. we understood we had a little bit of understanding of what consent was, until now we started getting teachings from outside. We started getting taught that, nah man, you have to claim her. You just, there's a lot going on. There's pressure from the seniors, from these guys who are bullies and whatever, all those kind of things. There's pressure that really damages the boy child. And also females, there's also certain pressures there, right? Because this rape thing is manifest in both genders, the males and the females. And what is consent? What is consent? Consent to me is the most important word on earth. Literally, there is no important word than consent. The reason why we have the problems that we have on planet Earth, all problems today can be claimed to consent. Someone's violating someone's consent somewhere. Someone is fighting that. That is that right there is the cause of all our problems. That I'm gonna infringe somewhere, somehow, I'm gonna infringe on someone's rights. Maybe because my rights were infringed upon, or whatever the case may be, but somewhere, somehow, someone's doing something against someone's consent or without someone's consent. Whether it's your boss ordering you to go on a trip, knowing very well that you have family, and knowing very well that you need the money, you cannot deny, and he does that against your consent, and you have to get on that flight, go overseas for months, and pretend like everything is okay, right? And now that develops feelings in you, right? It begins to trigger certain things in you that will cause you to react in a certain way to what the guy who literally didn't consider your consent. He's power driven, right? So you might not react instantly. You might not even react against the guy who's violating your consent. 10 years, 20 years later, you might react to when you are in a different workspace and you have a good boss, and now those feelings begin to come up. Maybe when you see similar patterns, though they were not meant to deliver what the first message delivered, and now you act out right there and there, and he's the victim of that simply because someone somewhere years ago violated your consent or did something without your consent. And now we go to something more serious as rape. As you grow up, you realize that sexuality is you cannot separate yourself from that, right? You cannot separate yourself from your maleness or your femaleness or whatever, right? You cannot separate yourself. It's something that is intimate to you. It's a part of you, right? And someone comes to tamper with all of that against your will. Yeah. Now, think about it. Someone comes to... Imagine how angry you get when someone takes something. If you leave your food in the fridge and someone comes, takes the food and eats it, and you wake up next morning, you're like, oh, my pizza, and it's gone. Imagine, you feel something. And that is just pizza, bruh. That is just pizza. Imagine something as big as that. Something that is essential. Something that's you. It's a part of you. It's not like a car. This is what makes you. This is a part of what makes you you. And someone comes and violates all that. And now the thing is, unlike with a car, it's a material thing, right? It doesn't necessarily leave a psychological scar. But with this one, it's something that's gonna, you are scarred for life. Your behavior is immediately altered. You, when you understand that behavior is something that comes from the deepest part of you, we're talking the subconscious mind, right? So psychologically, it has subconsciously, right? It has left an imprint there. You're not gonna be able to remove it. It's a permanent scar. Someone is gonna carry a permanent scar for the rest of their lives, and it's constantly, or whenever they think about it, it's a constant reminder, or a lifelong reminder, that their consent was taken away from them. Not in the most, because when it comes to consent, right? Number one, you have murder, right? When you take someone's life without their consent, you kill someone and they die, and that's number one. You cannot take someone's life. You should not take someone's life. Number two, then we have rape, right? And they are very, very close to each other. It's the gap between them is not that wide. But now someone's life is fucked over, permanently damaged, right? As a result of that. But where does it start? Where does this thing start? I would be doing injustice if I do not, maybe I know I am doing an injustice in fact, because if I try to take it from the beginning, now it's a long line of this one did this to this one, that one became a victim, at the end he victimized someone or she victimized someone, then it's a chain, right? So we have to now look at it from where we are, hold those who are here accountable, and the rest of us cleanse ourselves, right? And it's very, when you listen to how people tell you their stories of how it happened to them, it's traumatizing. I don't want to lie. I was so traumatized. I'm like, what? And now when you begin to ask them, how did you feel like when it happened? That's triple trauma. You realize that, no, like, this is deep, right? This is deep. So we need to take accountability. Every guy needs to learn about consent. Every guy needs to understand that it's not my way or the highway. You have to understand that when she says no, it's no. So, I think for me personally, I enjoy sex the most when I know that it is consent. Huh? How do you guys enjoy knowing that this person said no? Like, how, like, guys, just think about this. You intimate with someone and both of you want it, like, knowing that what I'm doing this with the person. This, like, sex is pleasurable, right? But the idea of knowing that this person wants it as much as I want, oh God, that is bliss. I don't understand how a person can go and indulge forcefully. Like, how do you? No, man, guys. I understand that maybe, as a people we're damaged, but we need to clean ourselves up. We need control the government for a while, control whether ANC is doing that, control all that for now, just for this 5 minutes, only for 5 minutes, and take responsibility to say, you know what, I might have been fucked over by the system or whatever, I might have been encouraged to do this by Abu Khrotman, whatever, but right at the second, those people are not here. I need to take account and responsibility. I need to cleanse myself up. You know? And it's, even in relationships, right? Unfortunately, where we are currently, we have to talk about these things. We have to talk about these. Because now, in a relationship, right? You cannot just decide to wake up at 2 a.m. and begin to indulge. You have to ask first. And unfortunately, guys, I wish it wasn't like this, but it's like this. This is who we are. You have to talk about these things in your sex chat. Baby, would you have a problem if I wake up in the middle of the night and indulge myself? Is that a problem? If the person says yes, it's a problem, then don't do it, bro. Madam, don't do it. Lisa, Oscar, dear, don't do it. If the person says no, you can do that. The person says, in Ejo, if you want it, I'm there. Just again, it's fine. No wonder they've consented to that. So you have to know her yeses and her no's. She has to know your yeses and your no's. And once you violate the no's, you have raped her because, or she has raped you because you guys stated very clearly that don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. And the person who did it with the full knowledge that this thing is not what you wanted. So that is now rape. Right? In as much as you did not take it forcefully, this, that, but it is still you violated someone sexually. They said no, bruh. Or madam. They said no. So that's relationships. That's where we are, and we have to move with the times. Or you might find yourself in prison for a very long time. Wapuma, you will still struggle with that for the rest of your life. Deservedly so. What other ones do we talk about? Alcohol. Oh God. Guys, listen, I usually in my videos I talk about getting to understand yourself. Understand yourself as a human being, as Mutwa. What does having a body mean? Yes, sis. Guys, no, man. You fucking need to study, like study. No. Guys, honestly speaking, ignorance. No. Ignorance is why we are where we are. You need to study, Joe. You need to study, understand how your body works, understand yourself more intimately. When not always you wanna be groove, when not always you wanna be at church, when not always you wanna do everything but engage yourself. No. Study yourself. Study yourself. Listen, I'll speak for myself. Where alcohol is, right? I'm still coming to that point of speaking to myself. Where alcohol is, you find out gang rape is there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some girls drink themselves to sleep, they black out. And guys, this is disgusting. Guys indulge themselves now. Guys indulge themselves on a person who's asleep. They're drunk. But listen, guys. You have to understand. Now, when I speak for myself now, when I drink, or if I drink, I know how my body, I know how my body gets. So I understand it. Okay, I will get to a certain point. Now it's gonna turn me on in a way. Just the awareness of that alone, the awareness of just knowing and understanding that the reason why right now I'm feeling the way I'm feeling is because of what I'm consuming. That on its own will bring things under control. You feeling somehow doesn't mean that it's a gift from somewhere signaling that you must do something. Come on, man. Really? You feeling there's nothing special about you feeling that way. If you know that you have stupid tendencies, stop drinking alcohol, because some of you people, you do these things only when you are drunk. Only when you're drunk. What kind of behavior is that? What kind of behavior is that? Yeah, ne? Sisters also, man. Ish, sisters. Why do you go to clubs broke, hoping that men will buy you alcohol, mara, guys? Honestly speaking, this shit is also heartbreaking. Why are you doing all this? Like, why? Huh? Maybe I understand, Ori, you've had a hard life, you were traumatized as a child, but Joe, baby girl, that's not the right way to go about it, Joe. That's not the right way to go about it. It's not, Joe. No. You know, a lot of things. Listen. If you go out on a date, or if you go out to a club, hoping to drink or get bought alcohol by a man, right? What am I even saying? English is breaking me here. If you go out hoping or a guy will buy you alcohol and whatnot, right? And that guy rapes you, you do not deserve it. You must go to the police station, get him arrested. But baby girl, don't put yourself in vulnerable positions. There are animals out there. Don't put yourself in a vulnerable position where you are most likely to be violated. To understand your surroundings. Your love for alcohol and groove, is it that serious and that strong, Melody? You'd rather put yourself at the risk of murder and rape and all these things, Joe. Listen, one thing, Joe, feminism or no feminism, men are physically stronger than you. They way more stronger than you, and they will kill you, Joe. Huh? Like, stay at home, Joe. Just protect yourself. I know maybe depression is too much and it gets hard to deal with, bruh. Like, come on, Joe. Come on. If you're going to groove, go to groove, not with the intention of getting something from someone. It's a crazy world. And I know sometimes you want to silence the voices that are in your head. But Joe, do not run away from. Face yourself. Face your guys. It's tough, Joe. It's tough, Anja, Joe.